Today, let's talk about something you probably haven't given much thought to: a hug. Yeah, that quick squeeze you give or get. Without a second glance, most guys see it as a handshake with arms. Just a hello or goodbye, right? But what if I told you a hug could stick with you like a shadow you can't shake? Not just any hug, but one done with purpose, a spark of intention that hits deep. Imagine this: with the right move, you could leave her thinking about you for days. See, us men were wired to remember how a woman makes us feel. More than her words, conversations fade, details blur, but a moment that stirs something raw, that lingers. And a hug, when it's more than a reflex, can be your quiet ace up the sleeve. Here's the deal. Women don't always get how much a real hug can mean to us. We carry the weight of being tough, holding it together, keeping our guard up. A quick pat on the back is all we usually get. Nothing that cracks the armor. But when a hug lands just right, warm, steady, intentional, it's like a reset button. It's not about grand gestures, it's the stillness, the way she holds you there. Suddenly, you're not just seen, you're felt. And that's a game share, brothers. Now picture being the guy who flips the script. Not chasing, not proving. Just being a hug can do that. If you play it smart, make her feel safe, wanted, and understood. And trust me, when you pull that off, she won't just walk away and forget. Look, I'm not saying every hug's got to be a Hollywood moment. Keep it real. But after today, you'll see how a simple embrace can plant a seed in her mind. Stick with me, and I'll show you how to turn a hug into something she can't let go of. One, the silent power of a hug. One, the silent power of a hug. A hug's more than a handshake with heart when you wield it right, brothers. Most folks toss them out like spare pennies, fast, stiff, forgotten by the next step. But what if I said a hug could anchor in your gut like a storm? You can't outrun, not some live-dimp squeeze, but one with grit and purpose, a quiet thunderclap. Here's the straight truth: we men ache for touch more than we'll ever spill. Life's trained us to be iron stand. Tall, swallow the soft stuff, show no cracks. We march through days dry for a real connection, something that doesn't bounce off. That's why a hug, sharp, timed, deliberate, can grip you like a vice you don't fight. It's not just her arms, it's the way she hits your soul without a word. Master this and she's a shadow stitched to your thoughts. No. Shaking her loose, science lays it bare. Touch sparks a fire in your brain you can't dodge. A real hug pumps oxytocin, the glue that binds us raw and human. Same juice that flows when a kid clings to his mom or a lover's guard drops. It's the silent hum telling you you're solid, needed, linked to something true. Picture her slipping that into you. No fuss, just a hug that lands deep. Most guys get scraps quick, cold class that vanish before they settle. But when she flips it and knows the weight behind it, she's echoing in you for days. Where do women trip up? They hug like it's a favor. They're scared to owe, short, tight-lipped, all courtesy, no meat, no mark, just air and done, to stick in your bones. Gents, that hug got to carve its name in your core. Here's how it rolls: first, the pause, lock eyes with her. Just a heartbeat, let the quiet stretch thick, buzzing a spark before the storm breaks. That split-second wait, it's the hook sinking in before you feel the pull. Next, the lean, slow it down. Don't crash in like a bull on a bender. Ease into her. Let your weight meet hers like stone settling into earth. She'll catch it, the heat off you, the calm bulk, the presence that doesn't flinch. Then the release. Here's your edge. Don't bolt the second it starts. We're used to women cutting loose fast, leaving it dangling like a half-to-tail. But if she lingers a breath longer, a hand grazing your back or clutching your arm, man, it digs in. It's subtle, no show, just a drift of fingers as she pulls away clean. That's when it roots heavy like a mark you carry without thinking later, when warm or stillness creeps into your head. Who's there her every damn time? This isn't about theatrics, it's real grounded, a Stoic's play in the flesh. A woman who gets this isn't just passing through, she's claiming ground in you. Stay steady, feel it out. She's turning a hug into your own quiet. Reckoning 2, the subtle art of using a hug to spark desire. 2, the subtle art of using a hug to spark desire. Most gals think a hug's just a friendly tap. Hey there, see you, done deal. But what if I told you a hug could light a fuse in you that won't quit burning? Not some passing clasp, but a move so smooth it leaves you wanting her shadow. Here's the straight shot. Touch isn't just skin deep. It's a trigger that cuts through the noise. It skips past your head, digs into the gut, and sticks like a tune you can't shake when she pulls it off. Right, you don't just feel it. You start chasing that vibe again, a hug balanced with heat pressure. And a beat of time says, more than words ever will think about this. Gents, men are wired to soak up touch like dry earth. Takes rain women, they're out there hugging buddies, linking arms, passing warmth. Like it's nothing us, we get a handshake. Maybe a slap on the back distance is our default gear. So when she wraps you up with purpose slow and steady, it hits different, really different. Science has a name for it. Physical closeness flips a switch in your brain. Pan a good hug kicks out oxytocin. Call it the hookup hormone. If you want, studies peg it 20 seconds of solid contact and your system's humming with connection. That's why a deliberate hug doesn't just sit there. It stirs a hunger that lingers. We don't get that casual intimacy tossed our way often, fellas. That's the kicker. Life's taught us to keep the walls up, play it cool, and let the soft stuff slide. But when she hugs you like she means it, it's a crack in the concrete we've poured that rarity turns it into fuel. She sparks it and you're left simmering for more. Here's how she works it step by step without overplaying her hand. Timing's the backbone too quick, and it's a shrug too long. It's a fumble. She goes by the 3-second rule. And trust me, that's where the magic kicks in. 1 second. Her warmth seeps into you. Your skin clocks it. No questions asked. 2 seconds. Your mind catches the ease of her against you. Soft but not weak. 3 seconds. And your head starts piecing it together. This isn't just a hug. It's close, right when you settle into it. She pulls back, but not like she's ditching you. Cold, her hands don't just drop, they glide. Maybe a brush on your arm, a drift down on your back. It's light and smooth, like she's leaving a trail you can still feel when she's gone. That's the Stoic touch control present. No rush or fuss to muddy it up, your brain does the rest. Gents, it reruns that moment like a highlight reel. Suddenly, you're tuned in, how she felt, her scent, the way you locked in so easily. That's when it sticks, brothers. She's not just a memory, she's a pull. You don't even know why, but you're itching to stand near her again, to feel that heat next time you're close. You're the one edging in, hunting that space she carved out, all from one hug. Simple, quiet, but loaded with what you didn't know. You needed this isn't about grand moves, it's subtle a craft. She hones without breaking a sweat. Keep your feet planted, fellas. This isn't some wild grab, it's a steady play. She's not shouting for attention. She's threading a line you'll follow without a fight. Hey fellas, if this stirred something in you, hit that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment below low. Tell us what you think of a hug can wake up. What's been asleep? Stay locked in, brothers. More good stuff's headed your way. Let's dig into a 3. The delayed release hug. Game changer 3. The delayed release hug. Most women cut a hug. Short, dropping it like a hot pan, the second it feels done. But what if I told you holding on just a tick longer could brand her in your mind, not a rush squeeze, but a move so smooth it haunts you when the day goes quiet? Here's the deal. It's called the delayed release, and it's a subtle twist that pays off big. It's that extra beat after the hug should have ended a pause, where she doesn't let go, cold instead. She stays, letting you soak in her warmth for a moment. You didn't see coming. Why does this hit? Because your brain's wired to lock onto surprises. It's psychology 1. Oh, 1. We're used to the same old playbook. A quick wrap a pat. Then back to business. Men expect hugs to be predictable, like clockwork over before you settle in. But when she stretches it out just enough to catch you off guard, it shifts the ground, your shoulders ease your head, clocks the heat, and something sticks. She's not in a hurry. That little delay, it's like planting a seed in the back of your skull. Slow and deep. It isn't loud or pushy. It's quiet, creeping in where you least expect it to grow. Most guys don't get this kind of linger. We're stuck with fast hells and goodbyes. So when she flips that switch, it's a jolt that hums louder than the usual static. Here's how she pulls it off, brothers, without turning it into a circus act. First off, it's all about finesse, none of that death grip nonsense that feels like a trap. She keeps it natural, a steady hold that's warm and inviting, like she's got nowhere to run. No rushing out, she lets the pressure sit easy, like she's savoring the air between you. Then the release, she doesn't snap away like she's dodging a bill collector. She lingers maybe a second more, letting her hands drift softly over your back. Or she gives your arm a light squeeze. Nothing forced, just a nudge that settles in. It's smooth controlled, a stoic kind of move. Present, deliberate, no fuss or fight. Here's the kicker: when she finally steps back, she catches your eyes for a beat. Not a stare down, just a quick lock enough to make your pulse skip a step. That's when your mind trips over itself asking, was that just a hug or more? It's not some grand speech. It's the quiet that does the talking, leaving you spinning, and that's where it hooks you. Fellas, she's not even trying to show off. Your brain starts replaying it later like a song you didn't mean to hum all day. You catch yourself thinking in how she held on, how it felt like time bent a little next thing. You know you're wondering when you'll get that close to her again. She's planted a flag in your head, and the best part, you don't clock it as a play. It's subtle enough to sneak past your guard, but strong enough to stick around days later. You're still feeling that ghost of her touch when the room's gone still ill. That's the delayed release. It's a slow burn that doesn't let go. Easy, brothers. This isn't about theatrics. It's real grounded, a slice of stoic calm in motion. She's not chasing your applause. She's carving a spot you didn't know was open. Stay steady, gents. This isn't a grab for control. It's a gift you feel without asking if this hit home for you. Gents, smash that like button and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment below. Let's hear your take on one hug can rewrite your quiet stick. With us brothers, more real talk is coming your way. For the four, the backstroke effect. Backstroke effect: most gals figure a hug's done when the arms drop, like flipping off a switch. But what if I told you one slick move could keep her echoing in your head? It's not over when you think there's a trick to make her. Shadows stick around. This move's called the backstroke, gents, a quiet twist that hooks you deep. It's that soft, intentional slide of her hand down your back as the hug winds down. Not a big wave, just a whisper of a touch that keeps the vibe humming after she's gone. Here's why it's gold. Your brain's a sucker for a curveball. It didn't see coming. We're wired to perk up when something breaks the mold. Science backs that up. A plain hug, it's background noise. Your mind shrugs and moves on quick. But when her fingers graze your spine, light as a breeze, it's like a spark in the dark. Most hugs are stiff and robotic, arms locked. All business, no soul to carry home. This question mark, it's different, intimate, alive. A ripple that wakes up your nerves, your skin clocks, your head replays it, and bam, it's burned into you. That little glide flips a switch, and hours later you're still feeling her. Echo, lying in bed staring at the ceiling, her touch ghosts over you like a memory unasked. That's when it hits, brothers. She's not just gone. She's tugging at you. Still, your body holds that sensation like a secret. It won't spill. Craving another around. It's not loud or pushy. It's a slow burn that creeps into your quiet moments. And the kicker: she's not even trying hard, just letting it land naturally. So how does she pull this off without tipping her hand? Here's the play. She keeps it smooth. No clawing or clutching. Nothing that screams, "Look at me." It's a gentle drift, like her hand just happened to coast down your back as she let go, light easy. Barely there, half a second longer than you'd expect. Then she's out. She steps back casually, like it's no big deal, leaving you none the wiser. That's the stoic edge, controlled present, a nudge that doesn't need a spotlight. But inside you, it's working. Your mind's already spinning. The real was that on purpose, just her way. Your court piecing it together like a puzzle. And that's where she's got you gents wondering, is the hook that won't let go. Once you start asking, she's lodged in there, a thread you keep pulling at. Next time you're near her, you're half hoping that hand finds your back again, all from one sly move, a touch so faint it's loud in all the right ways. This isn't some flashy stunt. It's pure grounded craft, brothers. She's not begging for your eyes. She's planting a mark you carry without a fight. Hey, gents, if this struck a chord, smash that like button and subscribe. Drop a comment below. Let's hear your thoughts on one stroke can rewrite your stillness. Stick around. Brothers, hey five, the whispered goodbye. Hug, brothers, let's wrap this up, slick five. The whispered goodbye hug, most gals hug, drop and roll. No words, just air gone in a flash. But what if a whisper could chain her to your thoughts like a lock you can't pick? This isn't just a hug, it's a quiet bolt that strikes deep and stays words. Hit men hard, gent, not just touch, but also a voice in close quarters. A hug already pulls her in her breath, brushes you, her warmth hums low. Add a soft whisper right before she pulls away, and your mind's wide awake. Science says it, low tones. Spike dopamine, mixing thrill with that oxytocin glow. She's in your space. And those words don't just land, they carve into you. Most guys get silence or small talk, nothing that sticks past the door. But when she murmurs something real, it's a jolt through the steel we've built. That's the power of whisper and intimacy. Cuts deeper than a shout ever could. Here's how she nails it, simple. No fluff, just a few words that linger. She keeps it light. Man, I needed that playful spark you won't shake. Or you're tough to leave low. Mysterious, a riddle for your quiet nights. Say it softly, right? As the hug breaks, then step back with a half smile. Done, no overthinking, just let it roll naturally, like a thought slipping out loud. That's the Stoic play, controlled present. A whisper with roots, not noise. Your heart kicks up, even if you don't clock. Why, it's her voice echoing now, later alone that line. Loops in your head, pulling you back to her orbit. She's not yelling for attention. She's planting a seed. You'll water yourself one hushed word and you're hooked, wondering, what's behind that tone? It's a slow burn that builds gents suddenly. You're itching to hear her again. That's the whispered goodbye, small move. Big waves all under your skin if this flips a switch for you. Smash that like button and subscribe. Brothers, drop a comment, tell us her. Whisper keeps me up at night, stay with us more. Straight talk is coming to rattle your stillness.